So Marv, you had an illustrious career. How did a kid from Orange County find his way in India of all places? Give us a sense for what year is this and what are you trying to do? You'd obviously had a publicly listed company, you've had many feathers in the cap. What brought you to India?
Well, thank you. Being a Southern California kid, we have many industries here, and I was quite lucky. After coming out of college, I got involved in the aerospace industry, particularly working for a company that was associated with the Jet Propulsion Laboratory at JPL. And that put me into materials research, material science, and then into semiconductors. And I spent a long time in the semiconductor industry, which took me to a building literally 2 houses down, to a company on Hale Avenue in the late 70s in the semiconductor area. So we went into my role became to set up all our global manufacturing. So it took me into many foreign countries, particularly in all of Southeast Asia and the Asian markets. And then went through a common group of guys, got back into the aerospace industry. And at that time, this was in the 90s, we were a group of a company called TRW, which is now Northrop Grumman, which did the international technology transfer. So particularly for the semiconductor industry, or excuse me, for the spacecraft industry, if a foreign country wanted to put up an Earth resources satellite or a communication satellite or so, we were the group that actually assembled all of that material and gave the foreign government essentially an erector set for the satellite. It was all the components, we arranged all the activity, all the materials, and gave them blueprints and coordinated all that activity. So about mid-90s or so, that took me to India, where the ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, was looking to do some Earth resources satellites. And I spent quite a few times there arranging all that. And then since then have moved back out of aerospace and into energy. And which takes me to the company here, CTC Global, which is literally headquartered about 4 blocks away. So it was very easy to come over. Which is also international. We operate in 70 countries. And in my role, from forming this company here in its early days up through its now multinational position, I've got a chance to see most of the world, including India, where we have manufacturing operations, and South Asia is our single largest market.
Amazing. Let's go back to the mid-90s. Give us a sense for when you went there to set this up, a little bit of what you dealt with, and then the setup, the culture, the people. What was that experience like? Maybe in a minute or so. And then what I would like to do is kind of go deeper and further into it, bring it back to what the setup looks like now, and kind of go further from there.
Sure. So in the mid-90s in India, it was a lovely place. I thoroughly enjoyed all of my trips to India and over the years. Great people. We had fantastic support from the government to work in this field. All the research centers made it very pleasant to work. All the support we needed to take things on. We had a good chance to go around the country and see all the sites and things. So it was a very pleasant experience for me in all those times. So moving forward a decade or so, when I came to this company here in Irvine, CTC Global, we were coming out of a startup. Basically, it was still a public company. They backed into a shell, but we needed to actually be a company. I came in from the private equity side of the business, where this company was looking for funds, and my role was to come in and vet the company for its ability to receive those funds, or were they worth the investment. So I got to know the board of directors here quite well, and things changed around, and essentially got captured in the deal. And in April of 2006, I took over as president of the company, and chief operating officer then of the parent corporation, and then in 2011 or so, the company got taken private, and then we got taken private again in the last year, which the management team then were part of the buyout. We, from the start, set the company up to be international. We focused mainly on the international marketplace. The original team all came from international backgrounds. We all had worked, operated, and built companies in foreign locations. So for us, it was no stretch. It was quite easy for us to operate internationally. We knew how to do that. We knew how to protect ourselves. We knew how to properly deal with all of the regulations and things. So for India, around 2009, we looked at all of the market segments, and we wanted to figure out where's the next market. We had started in China. China was a very big market for us for about four or 5 years. Where was the next China? We looked at Indonesia. Indonesia is still a big market, but India became quite interesting. What are the features of India that we had to look at the time that made it a good place to go? Developing economy at that time. Massive need for power. That's what we're going to do. We do the transmission lines, electrical transmission and distribution lines, overloaded lines, old infrastructure, massive need for investment. So that was right in our wheelhouse of the markets we wanted to go to. We knew that there was, when you go to any developing economy, the need for electrification of the country is typically in the top 1 or 2% or top 1 or 2 line items for funding. They absolutely need that. So it's always a well-funded effort. You work with the government utilities in most cases. There's ways that we looked at as to how you qualify and so. But about 2009, India hit our radar. So we came to India and stepped into qualifying our product. We make a very high efficiency wires that is used in transmission. Went through the qualification thing and started doing some trial work. It was quite good. We did a very good job. And then in 2011, and this is a very key part of going into a foreign market, we chose a very good partner. And that partner became part of the delivery of the product, which is a key item when you go into a foreign market, is how are you going to deliver your product? You can make it, you can build it there if you want, but if you don't have a way to get it out to the marketplace, it's not going to be good for you. We went to a big partner, got great distribution, and signed a multi-year deal where they essentially started out with a modest number and grew to a very large number, which has continued to grow since that time. And we've added more partners, we've added more things, and it's been a very good market for us, not only India, Bangladesh, if you look at different voltage levels in Bangladesh alone, nearly their entire 400 kV grid, the big transmitting grid, is all uses our wire on the whole system. So, and others in the region as well.
Amazing journey. Congratulations on all the successes. Give us a sense of where things are today for the company in terms of size and scale, employees. You're primarily based in Pune, is that right? So what does today look like for you guys?
We made a decision to go into India, to build a plant in India in 2022. From the time we made the management decision to the time the plant was qualified and operational was about 14 months. So it went fast. We had great support from local government in Pune. We used a local consultant to help us put all that together, as well as our team from here. That plant is going through its third expansion now, since we put it there in the 2022-23 timeframe. It's not one of our largest facilities, but it's growing. It's capable of about $50 million a year as far as revenue goes. And other facilities are larger, but it's growing as can be. We have our main sales team is headquartered in Pune also, but not in that building, in a separate location. We'll continue to build out that factory. because the market is it's just a great market for us. All of the tenants, the things that we looked at going into the marketplace still exist. We hear a lot of talk about data centers. We are tied up with Google on data centers ourselves. People can put data centers up, but if you don't have power there, they're not going to do you any good. So this is a great use of the technologies that we provide and of expansion of the grid, or expanding the grid that you have. But India is going to be a solid market for many years to come.
Now, switching to some advice and some learnings and lessons you've had, if someone is wanting to go to India now to set up shop, what is some guidance or recommendations you would have?
First off, know why you're going to India. Do you have a product or your service that is in demand, and more importantly, is it differentiated? To go into a foreign market as a Me Too guy, to try to go in and be the low-cost competitor or the high technology guy and not be differentiated is a losing proposition. It's not going to work. So know why you're going in. Pick your, have a quite disciplined selection process as to which country you want to go into, in particular for India, to cover those things. Is it the right product? Is it differentiated? Can I protect it? Can I sell it at margin? How do I do this? And really important is partnerships. I would counsel anybody going into any foreign market that please spend the time to find your partners. Partners for delivery of your product, partners for promotion of your product, for dealing with local authorities and governments to smooth the way. One of the things that our U.S. Commercial Service offers is their gold keys and things like that, which help you find partners. We use them all over the world. It's a great resource that's available to companies here. And see Richard back there if you'd like to know more about it. But it's an excellent opportunity to go find those partners. Partners are really key. To try to go on here alone it's a tough road. A strong partner, a strong Indian partner, really makes it go.
I want to open it up for questions, maybe 2 or 3 questions. And then, Marv, if you have any recommendations in terms of, you were obviously looking into manufacturing, working with a lot of utility companies. So some reasons why Pune instead of some of the hub, was that because of incentives, because your partner had relationships, so you can kind of hint at that, and then I'll open it up to a couple of questions.
Sure. So our partners are located not far from Mumbai. They're all over the place in the country, but the headquarters near Mumbai. So Pune is not far away, about 100 kilometers away from Mumbai. You go to the east and you run into Pune. So it has all the things that we need. Our regional vice president lived in Pune, so he was sort of partial to that area. But everything that we needed in the factory, in the facility, was there. Trained workforce or educated workforce that we needed. Incentives from the local government. We had wonderful incentives on the tax benefits and things that we took advantage of. They were quite prescriptive as to what you had to do to get those incentives. If you want to put a plant in, you have to be operational in so many months, and you have to have such and such a volume. But we know the rules, and we followed the rules, and we took advantage of those assumptions, or those incentives. So again, good regional support, a lovely place to be compared to some of the other places in the country. It had everything that we needed, and it's not too far away from our partners, which was important.
Questions?
Having worked with CTC Global for over 20 years now, and you were Powerway before that, and we even worked with them, long history. 2 questions. One is about AI. We had a question about AI earlier, but AI and energy is starting, especially in the transmission sector, is definitely expanding. But could you tell us what is the secret sauce between your headquarters here and your global operations. We won't talk about everywhere else in the world because we're talking about India today, but I can tell you they are all over the world. And you keep this thing alive and well. And Bill and I, we're part of the export machine here. We also support foreign direct investment. Our main program is Select USA every year. India brings one of the largest delegations we have every year, which is awesome. But because a lot of times we think of outsourcing and contract manufacturing as the company leaving. California sort of has a history of some of that happening. But how do you keep it here and alive and well? Because I've seen your facility here expand, grow, become dynamic, even though you expand your manufacturing all over the world.
Southern California is a great place to be, and a lot of us don't want to leave Southern California. Though we've all taken assignments and worked in foreign countries in the past, but it's a great place to be at headquarters. If you want to recruit senior guys, you want to get some heavy players to join the company, you say, I'm in Southern California and I'm 5 miles from the coast and all this. That's attractive to them. Engineers love to come to Southern California. They don't like the real estate prices, but they don't have to live in Irvine or Newport Beach or any of the coastal communities. Our workforce, and we have about 375 people here in Irvine, our production staff comes from all over Southern California, from as far away Corona and others, and we have Santa Ana, Anaheim, all of the inland communities where real estate and things are more affordable. So it's okay for us to maintain a large manufacturing presence here because it's affordable for everybody. We have a wonderful landlord in the buildings that we have, and we're growing in size all the time. We just took out another building in Locum. So we have a good landlord, reasonable rates, not much more than we'd be paying anywhere else in Southern California. It's a good market to recruit to. It's wonderful access to logistics. We can get to the port. We ship everything all over the world. So it's just a very easy place for us to work. California is not a cheap place overall, but all the buttons that we need to push to be a viable manufacturer and move quickly are here. So we maintain it here. We have plants in 5 countries. We have them in China, Indonesia, India, South America. Those are large plants. They're growing. South America is a little smaller. They have challenges to operate in a foreign country. China is a very difficult market to operate in. But here, it's a good field. We like it. It meets us well. We continue to grow here. City of Irvine has been quite supportive for us on many things. We always did.
Okay, we'll call it. Marv, thank you so much.